Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watch You Want, and thanks for logging on. Today, we are looking at the Breguet Heritage Chronograph reference 5460 in 18-karat white gold. You can see this unique tonneau-shaped automatic chronograph on our website, watchyouwant.com. Purchase it there, and if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Watch You Want Inc. You can also click on the card in the upper right-hand corner of the screen at any time to see our full listing for this watch with accessories included, additional high-resolution images, and naturally complete pricing details. Now, on my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference, the watch has a nice taut stance to it. It really appears to be stretched and drawn across the wrist, almost as if there's a tension inherent in the metal, almost as if it's halfway in a state between liquid and a solid. It's a very striking aesthetic, and it really recalls its early 2000s contemporary, the Vacheron Constantin Royal Eagle, later the Malt chronograph. This is a handsome timepiece. It's also a hefty timepiece. With a deep case entirely in white gold, it does have a solid white gold case back, and you can feel the precious metal pull on your wrist. It's not overbearing in size, however. 32.5 millimeters across the broad of the case, that is 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock, not including crown or chronograph pushers. The watch is reasonably slim on the wrist, 11 millimeters with a slightly curved bezel. This one is actually fairly easy to fit underneath a tight sleeve or dress cuff, as you would expect of a Breguet. Now, from lug to lug, it's not overwhelming. 48.5 millimeters, and you can see that the lugs really do taper off quite short, tightly cropped to the case. They don't overlap a wrist. Mine is 16 centimeters, but I feel you could wear this watch comfortably and with proportion and without lug to wrist overlap, down to 14 centimeters in circumference. Now again, you do have that sort of sensation of a very heavy watch for its size on the wrist. It's matched by a very substantial but nicely flexible strap. You can see that Breguet in this case has used drilled lugs that are threaded for screws. It's a more solid attachment method than a spring bar, less likely to pop open, less prone to accidents, a little bit more time consuming to swap the strap, but this is the more expensive way to do it, the more secure way to equip a strap, well suited to a hefty and, quite honestly, valuable automatic chronograph in white gold. With a bolstered strap, there's nice body where it abuts the lugs, but then it does taper off and become quite pliant as it approaches the underside of the wrist, where your wrist is going to be soft. This beautiful rectangular scale monotone stitched alligator leather is nevertheless going to be very soft and supple to match. Now, the watch has a gorgeous 18-karat white gold Breguet deployant clasp. You can see, beautifully made, polished throughout, fairly hefty. It still closes with a snick and a snap. This one remains crisp as the day it left the factory. Now, the watch itself features all the hallmarks of the modern Breguet wristwatch. And I say that because a lot of these hallmarks were transferred over from pocket watches. So through the 1990s and the early 2000s, as Breguet was reestablishing itself as a luxury brand, it was interesting to see how those cues were translated into a wristwatch format. And it starts with the unique cold-rolled coined case flanks. Again, cold rolled in. This then requires hand finishing, like the lugs themselves with the threaded screw application. This is a more expensive way to make a case. It's not the way to do it if you're cutting corners, but from a mark like Breguet, it's appropriate, especially as Breguet was reestablishing itself. Now you can see, let me see if I can get the light to reflect properly. At 12 o'clock, flanking the Roman numeral 12, you can see the Breguet secret signature on the metallic brushed hour track. And of course, you can see the gorgeous Breguet hands for the hours, minutes at center. Also a gorgeous sort of barleycorn guilloche at center. It's a gorgeous rose lathe turned pattern, and it is a hand lathe. It isn't a stamped guilloche. It isn't machine executed. This is a rose lathe, 19th century style, being guided by a guillocheur. Beautifully done. Everything about this dial speaks to hand craftsmanship and an artist's sensibility. It has a beautiful tri-compax chronograph register, plus the convenience of a nice discrete jump date at 6 o'clock for everyday usability. Now, the movement inside, you can see the case back, solid, white gold, but it's actually known as a Breguet 550, which is an automatic winding 38 jewel Frédéric Piguet variant, not precisely the 1185. It's a smaller movement, but it shares the 1185's 21,600 vibration per hour beat rate, column wheel function selection, vertical clutch, chronograph engagement, and likewise the durability of being able to run with the vertical clutch engaged continuously if you prefer to have hours, minutes, and seconds at center. With a vertical clutch, running the chronograph continuously will not cause additional wear and tear on the movement. It's also good to know that the watch has 45 to 46 hours of power reserve, so This could be your only timepiece. As long as you're not going ice spelunking or diving, this is a versatile and handsome watch that can be worn casually, but can absolutely dress up to the highest level of attire. You can see this versatile, handsome, and beautifully made Breguet Heritage Chronograph reference 5460 in white gold and buy it on our website, watchyouwant.com.